We had a group text, as people know, between me, you, and Ant. Famous group text between me, you, and Ant. And we were putting together ideas for the show and for when you were coming on today. And do I want to read this verbatim?
Please do. Please do, because I meant it, and I was on the night that the decision was made, I wasn't as upset with it. I was more understanding. But then after a couple of preseason games, I love that
you're already saying the hilarious part out loud.
Yes.
Lynnell Willingham at 2:52 today. Angel Reese should be a mystic and Ted dropped the ball.
That's the take. That should be the caption of the video.
That's sometimes how we operate around here.
You know?
We're not afraid to get the clicks, if you will. We just would like people to actually watch the video once they click, which is a whole different conversation, and that will be discussed tomorrow during Never Read the Comments. Why are you ready after 2 preseason games of Angel Reese, 0 regular season action, to proclaim not that Mike Tebow made a mistake as the general manager, but that Ted Leonsis made a mistake?
Because Ted Leonsis was very vocal after he tried to shaft the DM or DC by pretending to move to Virginia. When he sat down with it was MSNBC, he did an interview. He talked about wanting to be at the forefront of the evolution of women's sports and the explosion of women's sports. And he talked about what he did for the Mystics, building ESA and wanting them to play at Cap One Arena and being able to host larger crowds. And he is hell bent on it's not just an explosion in women's basketball, it's an explosion in women's sports, but it's starting with women's basketball, and I want to be ahead of this thing. So why not draft the young woman that has all the fanfare, all the stardom, all of the skill, and she happens to be from here? Why not invite that into your organization? One, she's a really damn good basketball player, and I know what the conversation is her fit next to Shakira Austin and having 2 bigs that can't really stretch the floor in today's WNBA, where that's really what you need to succeed. Mechanically, if you look at Angel Reese shoot the basketball, she is a set shooter, flat-footed set shooter, and is lefty and has got a decent-looking stroke. It's not like she's shooting it granny style. Her jump shot is fixable. She made jump shots at LSU. And it's something that clearly she knows as a draft prospect is probably what she worked on all pre-draft process. And I know their timeline's kind of crazy.
2 weeks of it.
All 2 weeks of it.
But we did see her with Chris Brickley in the gym shooting NBA threes.
So she's got that, and it's something that she knows she could work on. I think, and I don't know how close the evaluation was between the two.
I don't think it was particularly close.
And that's ultimately, I guess, how they reached to their decision. But if it was not a sizable gap between her and Edwards, I would have taken Angel because she's a moldable piece of clay. That's how I look at her. She can end up gaining. She can end up gaining the skill to be a play initiator in the NBA.
I'm not here to talk about Angel Reese versus Aaliyah Edwards, the basketball player. I'm here to talk about how genuinely hilarious it is that you, Mr. Just Strong Take, would endorse, after years of being a tortured Commanders fan, an owner going into a draft room and overruling the sporting staff based off of marketing.
Yes. Well, and it's not just based off of marketing. A lot of it has to do with, I think, Angels, and maybe I'm just biased.
If you want to say Mike Tebow made a mistake because you think Angel Reese is a better basketball player.
Mike T should be on the bench.
Well, he doesn't want to be on the bench anymore.
Well, he didn't make a good decision in the draft.
Well, love you, Mike T. Mike was also the GM the whole time he was on the bench. So if you're
there's that. Okay.
So he's been doing
revisionist history.
Mike T is one of the greatest evaluators and coaches in the history of the sport. So if you want to pick a bone with Mike T, that's fine. The reason the reason that what you said is ridiculous, and I say this just so everyone is clear, with a smile on my face in Lynnell's direction. The reason of what you said is ridiculous is because if you want to be at the forefront of women's sports, the way to do it is to treat it like a sport because it's a sport. And you don't do sports by what sells tickets and what sells jerseys.
Well, some people do.
Yeah, and those people are losers. Like, I mean that in a literal sense, not in a not a person. I'm not like loser. No, like I'm in 5th grade.
Win-loss record.
I mean they are a win-loss record. There's scoreboards, and they are the losers.
Yeah.
And that is exactly how you actually screw up the business side of sports as well, because there is a business side of this. But you want to know what's the best sustainable plan for making money? Winning. Which
this
and by the
organization
way,
has had no problem doing.
As someone who 2 years ago went to damn near every home game, I didn't get to as many last year, but I went to damn near every home game 2 years ago because one of my best friends happened to be playing for the team. There wasn't an attendance problem. They do a good job at ESA, and
one of the best.
The games are fun as hell. They do a great job with the game production. They do all that stuff. But if you're going to treat it like a carnival act, if you're going to treat it like something that's purely meant for entertainment,
I don't think that's the case. I think that's underscoring.
Out of it.
I think that's underscoring what Angel Reese is as a basketball player.
Right, and that's why if you want to then have a conversation about Aaliyah, who has not been world on fire through 2 preseason games for sure, but again, they're preseason games versus Angel, who's had 2 pretty solid preseason games.
Emphasis on solid.
That's a Mike Tebow conversation. That is not what you said.
I misdirected.
What you said was Ted Leonsis, and I hate talking about an owner making a draft decision on principle.
And I hear you, right?
And the funny thing is, deep down inside, you agree with me.
I 100% do. Let's just say that I'm a little restless, so maybe when I sent that out, I didn't. Wrong T. Maybe it was the wrong. Maybe I typed the wrong T. That damn autocorrect, Apple.
Oh yeah, blame it on autocorrect.
But no, I think the conversation that I more want to get into. Wow, it's Michael Penix's 24th birthday. And by the way, I haven't come on here and have I received my proper flowers from the Hoffman Show for my proper projection?
No, we can do that another time.
Okay,
let's stay focused on one topic at a time.
But I think from a basketball standpoint, they damn sure could have made it work with Angel, and I think the other benefits that come along with it would have made it worth it.
If it comes down to we genuinely have equal grades on this player, then I got no problem with it. But they don't.
They don't.
I think
I understand
not only the Mystics, I think every team in the league had a higher grade on Aaliyah Edwards. There's a lot of people that thought Aaliyah should have gone.
So is Chicago just crazy then?
No, they picked Angel after Aaliyah was off the board.
So you think if Aaliyah was there, they would have taken if Aaliyah and Angel were there, they would have taken Aaliyah.
They would have taken Aaliyah. And I think it's Aaliyah's a great player.
I'm not taking anything away from her at all. And she's for her personality, she's a damn big personality too.
Right, and she's got a brand and she's got all this stuff. She's not getting invited to the Met Gala. Let's not pretend
it's different.
Aaliyah's popularity on TikTok, because she does funny bits on there, is the same as Angel Reese going to the Met Gala. Angel Reese is a star.
Yes.
And there is definitive value to that, which is why I've been kind of smiling, laughing, winking, throughout this entire thing.
You get it.
Because I get the argument, and I'm not stupid. Angel's a star, and she seems to be a great teammate, and there's a lot to like. I also happen to really like Angel as a basketball player, as a rebounder, a thing that typically translates from college to the pros.
Yes.
There seems to be something there. However, Aaliyah is also good in that department. She is more adaptable. And I think her game is a better fit with Shakira, who, of the 3, is the best player, to be clear.
It's the face of your franchise.
Again, of the 3 players, the best player, the one that I would take above the other 2 is Shakira Austin.
Yes.
And so if you're going to build around Shakira and how their games fit together, they occupy the same spaces on the floor. That's the problem with Shakira and Angel. And not to mention, I think Aaliyah, over the long run, is projected to just be better by most WNBA scouts. But that to me is the ultimate thing here. It's hard. I can't say you made a mistake through 2 preseason games. There hasn't been a real minute of action played yet, and won't be for another week. So to be that declarative is what I found so genuinely hilarious about the text. But is Chicago going to reap some short-term benefits from drafting Angel Reese? Yeah, but she was also the best player on the board when they drafted. The Mystics drafted before them, and I have no problem with them taking Aaliyah Edwards and think ultimately it was probably the right pick.
A lot of people
by the way, if Shakira and Aaliyah partner well and they can add someone else next year, I mean, Jesus, if they get Paige next year, then that would be incredible. But, whoever they add next year, and all of a sudden in 3 years they have a championship team, then we're having a different conversation.
We will understand.
And they're gonna be at Cap One selling 10,000 to 15,000 tickets a night anyway.
Yeah. I thought I wanted her here. That's what
I get
comes
it.
down to.
I get it.
And I was watching the draft, and I'll never forget my reaction when Chicago took Angel. I was like, huh? I didn't think Chicago made sense to take
She's the best player on the board. She's the best player on the board. And that it
And now
comes
it's working
down as
out
simple
for
as
him
that.
because Cardoso is out. So
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, I think the real question for most, like if you want to go really like inside the basketball, is did Dallas make the right pick at 5, not taking Aaliyah, and instead pairing her, as a 1-2 combination of versatility and skill and everything with Satu Sabali versus taking the point guard and J.C. Sheldon, who I think would have been a great fit here in D.C. So either way,
we all of a sudden have a void at that position because my favorite Mystic is no longer a Mystic.
Chrissy Tolliver or Tasha. Yeah.
Good person.
Yeah,
she's
great
like just
person.
an all-around good person.
Great person.
Yeah. Sad that Mike T couldn't make that work or whatever. I don't know. I wish I knew the ins and outs of that situation.
She decided to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Sometimes they be that way.
It bees that way sometimes.
What's up, kiddos? It's your boy Clinton Yates from ESPN. It's the Hoffman Show on the Team 980. Tell your mama I said what's up.